Hello and welcome to another episode of Andar Plays Victoria 2 as New England. I was about to say Europe Universalis. This is not Europe Universalis. This is Victoria 2. Last episode, we took over, in spite of me saying that this is a peaceful economic Let's Play, we've taken over Ghana part of Ghana from Denmark, and we've also taken over Java from the Netherlands over here. And of course, this is slightly economically backed. I want that sulfur, and I want, in terms of Ghana, a staging ground in order to get in on this coal, this tropical wood, and this iron, if I can get to it. And I think that would be beautiful. Even got a little cotton in there. A good way to just get some resources is seizing land from people, despite the fact that they live there. Newspapers. I hate seeing that number there. I wish there was a better way to just dismiss it down to 0, because I'm not going to read them all, obviously. Anyway, what should we be doing now? This episode we also created a steel factory and a lumber mill over here. We're encouraging craftsmen in general. And now I guess we're making tons of money. Everything's kind of maxed out. I guess we could maybe lower taxes? Yeah. Middle class, 60%, effectively 22. Can we get yeah, we can get the lower class down to that too. Let's have a flat tax of 60%. And we're still making tons of money. Oh, a little less so there. It dipped a bit. But we're back on track. Still making tons of money. Close down the bars. Prohibition forever. And I don't know, just gotta get back into it. We're researching Impressionism, trying to get our prestige up so that we can be more of a great power. I mean, we're good enough in terms of like a secondary power can still colonize. Now what we need to do is just technologically increase our mainline colonial negotiations. We got medicine, that's good. And then what we'll need is state and government. So I guess after this, ideological thought will be the next one. And construction is still occurring across the nation. So that's good. Are we still in the British sphere of influence? We are. What's going to be interesting is whether or not the US ever decides to invade British Idaho or British Florida, and what our decision will be as to whether or not to try and help the British. Because when I was playing as the British, I was importing a lot of soldiers from all over the world, more or less, the British Empire. A lot of people from, well, not all over the British Empire, but all over Britain. And something tells me that Britain, AI-controlled Britain, is going to have a harder time doing that. And with just 30 stack, 12 stack, and 36 stack, I don't think they could fight off the United States Army, which is the 12th in the world, even though they are technically the 3rd. Although most of their military might, of course, comes from their navy. It's bloated, I'm sure. So, we'll go with ideological thought, Mr. Marx. I think that's Marx, right? I think so. Pretty sure. And, I don't think we'll be getting a focus, because I'm still nebulous as to how focuses are really earned. Technology limits you to a maximum of 2 national focus points. People of primary accepted culture gives us 1 point. Okay, so that tells me right there. I can have a maximum of 2. I just don't have a high enough population for 2 focuses, so that's what affects that. I didn't know. I just learned something new right there. More Javan military, I suppose? I mean, maybe we should get some of these over to the mainland. Start building more of these clippers, so that'll be 3 there. And a new election. And we got 3, 9, 10, 11. So we'll need at least that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we gotta think about how many people we have here. I like being able to transport my entire military. And this only really handles 3 for some reason. Like I would have thought those would have been able to transport more of the steam transports, but I suppose I was mistaken. And that's actually about 5 there, so we just need 2 more, which easy to do. And all of this navy will go to Boston, which is the rally point for both the military and army over on that side of the world. Meanwhile, Batavia is the rally point on this side of the world in New English Java. Oh, and we're number 9. Cool. And let's get 2 more men of war. We got the money. Well, might as well. Can I... Okay, no. Taxes are being raised to 70. Just so that, I mean, we'll probably have to raise them again shortly. Probably should just put it right back up to 100. I mean, that's gonna take a lot out of the construction budget, but that will solve itself eventually. As things get constructed, there'll be less need for a high construction budget. I think New England may just well be the most fortified country in the New World, because I guess America, being so large, has a hard time fortifying. Any country really does. Like Mexico. I mean, they have the resources and ability. It's just... there are only like 3 threats, like, for any of these guys. Mexico, the United States, and Britain, / Canada. So, at some point, you know, either your military is going to do the talking, or nothing will, because those forts aren't gonna... They're only gonna buy you some time, really. I like having them, because of what I need, if I were ever to go to war with the United States, for instance, is time for Britain to do as much damage as possible. Alternatively, if Britain ever went to war with me, I would need the USA to mobilize to see if they would actually help, or for me to organize my people into a sizable resistance, of course. Although I don't think I'll be seeing any trouble from Britain anytime soon. Although one time I tried playing in just a game where all the nations released, not anything crazy, and I was trying to play as New England, and Canada invaded me for North New England by name up here, and that was sad. The United States didn't help me at all, and I actually lost. Now we're building an explosives factory. Okay, sure. I guess I'll remove that focus. Now what other stuff, if I switch back over, and I made a mistake in one of the other ones. This is the Federalist Party, not the Republican Party. I don't know why I said that this was the Republican Party in the other episode. It was weird listening to that again. Also, someone said I pronounced Concord wrong. I'm sorry if I keep doing it, but I just don't see any other way. If you could correct me with a proper pronunciation, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm looking at this word and I'm just not seeing any other way to pronounce Concord. Concord, I don't get it. And I'm not saying that to be offensive, I legitimately don't know. Anyway, now that maintenance is out of the way, let's see, what else did I want to make? A steel factory, we have that. We could do the machine parts factory. Cement factory. Ammunition, now that we have sulfur, absolutely. And then I will, of course, continue encouraging craftsmen there. Yay! See, it's good to have the resources you have in your country so you don't have to import as much. It is also good for, like, to have steel and machine parts at some point so that, I mean, the explosives factory, from what I understand, is going to need ammunition, which we can supply in this ammunition factory. So we can have some circular movements within our economy to make things cheaper, and as such profit us more when we get to exporting. Right? That's the plan anyway, that's the theory. Don't know how effective it really is, but we're making money, so that's good. And our industrial subsidies are fairly low, a little jumpy. Gain 2 prestige. Yeah, I like prestige and research points. So, we'll go with that one. And we are now the 8th most prestigious power in the world and the 9th in industry. Meanwhile, Liberty shines. Now we're 7th most prestigious. That's cool. So expand that naval base there again. And that should be good. Let's go with, I don't know, I want just more general production. This will, none of that I really want. Clean coal, just produce more iron, I suppose. Well, actually no. This would be a good opportunity to get muzzle-loaded rifles out, and so put us in a position to get breech-loaded rifles so we can get colonial negotiations, which are needed technology. We're going to be a great power. Anyway, they're needed technologies for colonization. Of course, having a larger navy, which is kind of what we're doing right now, will allow us to colonize more, because that affects your colonial points up here, colonial power, which were kind of already reduced because we have Batavia. I'm not sure if we could really turn this into a proper state in our nation. Let's see, we would need, from what I understand, 1% of the population to be bureaucrats of an accepted culture. So I would need some Yankee or Dixie culture in here, which seems there is none. So encouraging bureaucrats would be pointless anyway. So that's unfortunate, because that's taking up a whole lot of power, but it's a good province to have, which is why it's good to release for powers like Great Britain, stuff like Colombia, and reduce their infamy, because I messed it up there for them. Hello, CSA. Half of Texas wants to rebel from the Union. Oh, that's fair, because this part of Virginia became West Virginia because they didn't want to fight. And, well, they didn't want to join the Confederacy. Sorry, I'm having weird voice problems right now. That's odd. But, oh, this shouldn't be anything for us to worry about. Although it seems the Civil War broke out when America decided to try and get Nevada, Utah, so I don't know, maybe Mexico has a chance. Maybe the Confederacy has a chance. I'm doubtful of both of those things. And that's a really ugly border. The ugliest border I've seen the CSA have. But whatever. A weaker USA is a stronger New England. In all honesty, maybe I should try and encourage Great Britain to invade them. To, like, liberate Manhattan Commune. Or something like that. But I will not, because I believe in peace. This was supposed to be peace in industry, and it is decreasingly so. So they're trying to build an artillery factory. And this factory is almost done. Have some people go over to that. I would like the explosives factory. Not exactly sure the canned food factory does us any favors. I'm sure the explosives factory would be much more useful. So, I want that manned. And breech-loaded rifles. How about that? And that will give us access to guards, which are better than infantry. They're like infantry, but better. More or less outdate them. So, something just happened in Europe. No, evidently I missed it. Nope, the Ottoman Empire somehow took Georgia. Let's see. Discredited, discredited. Alright. I blew past those messages, unfortunately. But that's impressive for the Ottoman Empire to have seized Georgia. Neato. Let's just keep a general eye on these events up here. It's weird for the USCA. Oh, never mind. This is at war with. I thought that said allied with for some reason. No, my mistake. I was about to say it would be weird for the USCA to be at war with America. Nope, it looks like the Confederacy is making good pushes, but I don't foresee them lasting too long. Don't suppose they would just... No, they would. How about that? We have an alliance with them now. Because why not? Now we can better see... Let's see. British colonial conquest of Rif against Spain. Sure. I have no real problem with that. You helped me with some minor colonial problems, and I guess I can invade the Netherlands from over here with the Javan military, led by Abner Carr. Let's get over there. Pew pew, pew pew. Keep fighting. Just pushing up. Again. Supposed to be a peaceful playthrough, and now it is again, with two minor conflicts, two minor battles, skirmishes even, barely battles. Now, Britain has that, for all the good that does them. Oh, maybe the Confederacy can win? No, United States is mopping the floor with them. And I mean, most of the forces are probably over here in Mexico, anyway. Maybe at best they can... I mean, all they're fighting for in the CSA is to be independent, so they don't actually... All they have to do is defend their territory. And maybe they can do that long enough to make a peace. You know, they don't have to take anything, they just have to be a nuisance. What do we want now? I don't know, just get more education efficiency and colonial migration. Could also be of benefit. And we're gonna almost be a great power again, maybe. Increase military. Let's actually just, for a second, leave us really weak for a little bit, but... And let the timer go by so this refreshes. Just make sure that refreshes. Okay. Let's get about 5 of these. Right. Nope. Nope, I don't want that. Some artillery. An engineer. And just one of these guys. That'll be okay, right? So that way we can siege things faster and have less attrition if we are ever in an offensive confrontation. So how's that war of theirs going on this front? Is it over now? It is! I'm pretty sure this is the only time I've ever seen the Confederacy win the Civil War. So that's pretty extraordinary. I mean, realistically, the United States is going to recuperate from this Mexico involvement, and what they're going to do is then just restore order to the CSA provinces. So this will be short-lived, and we are allied with them. So that's cool. But as I said, a weak US is a strong New England, and we're about equal in military power. We could take something. Do I even want to try? I mean, opportunities like this do not present themselves often. I mean, they're still heavily at war with them, the Mexicans. It is a quandary. Like, I'm just sitting here. Everything could go wrong. You're only allied with the USCA. Honestly, I think we should do it. I don't think... This is such a bad idea. It really is. Why am I doing this? Just lust for power. I can't just let it go. Again, acquire state would only really be like Oklahoma. Or not Oklahoma, because Oklahoma's not even... Yeah, Oklahoma, Cherokee are part of the Confederacy. And... I mean, I guess I could release the Manhattan Commune, I think. Which would deprive them of about 200,000 people. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. But I could get that 200,000 people. And whatever industry they have here, including another lumber mill and a small arms factory. Lots of craftsmen. They're not getting as much immigration as they usually do. I mean, worst case scenario, we lose everything we've worked so hard to get. No, never mind. Because if I wanted to take New York, it would be 50 war score, or something like that. Whatever. I think at this point, the worst thing that could happen to us is a white peace. So, that stuff is on its way. I don't know, we really don't have any cavalry. Let's get a Javan Crusader. And try and see if these guys can get around yonder to Batavia to pick these guys up. No, they're... Oh. Is that really a shorter way? I would have figured to go across the Pacific. I guess it's shorter. I do not envy my Navy men on such a voyage. That looked brutal. Should probably just keep a general eye on them. We are now considered a great power. Which means Britain... Well, first off, I would very much like Colombia to be in my sphere so that eventually we can build the Panama Canal. I think that would be good. And Mexico would be good to have as well. Although I could also sphere the CSA, now that I think about it. And in this regard, Mexico is actually a little bit lesser on my interests. I don't really want to invest too much into the CSA because, like I said, they're probably just going to get wiped out soon. And I'm not sure how much exactly I'd be able to help them. Yeah, let's weaken the United States as much as we can right now, while they're in this position. That seems like a plan to me. Moralism, please. Thank you. Let's see. Where are they at now? Can I get like military access with Britain? They will accept. Eventually. Just hang out in there. I don't know if you can restock in there. It's actually not that big of a deal, and you're almost there, realistically. That was a waste of time. We have a reform. Could have universal voting. I mean, at this point, maybe I should just give up on the idea of turning New England into an absolute monarchy. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. So, we'll do based on population first in the upper house. Now we're actually number 7 great power. Who are the great powers right now? Russia. We're more powerful. Well, not more powerful then, but more prestigious, I guess you could say, than the Russian Empire. That puts some perspective, I suppose. I mean, if Russia wanted to step on us, they could. But in the eyes of the world, we're pretty neat. Hopefully it stays that way for the United Kingdom to help us. Let them have full citizenship, give them residency. Conservatives take most of the vote. Yeah, I don't want universal voting because then I wouldn't be a Prime Minister's government anymore. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Get out there. Anyway, my ships should almost be here, correct? Yes. And how's the war justification going? Okay, so I think it's kind of now or never. Declare war, acquire state, New York, call allies, unlikely. This is a bad idea. I think that kind of goes without saying, realistically. Come on. They did not. Okay. Okay. They probably won't form an alliance with us. We just gotta move quickly. And take as much as possible. Man, this was a bad idea. Why am I doing this? Increase the opinion of Colombia to us, and continue on. I guess that's as much as we can mobilize. Increase our sphere of influence in the CSA, of course. That would give us access to a bunch of stuff, including, of course, coal. So now let's take out Long Island. Of course, New York is the only place with an actual fort over there. The First Fleet is now down here. Can probably pick up this whole stack, right? Good. Now let's get them back, like the United States Navy doesn't mess with us. To Boston, at the very least. United States Navy is out, so is this little army here. I think we'll be able to beat them. We don't really have many army techs ourselves. We should probably invest in some of those right now then. So, proportional representation, I guess. Like I said, I don't really want universal voting. I'll just sit on that if it comes to that, but the other reforms I can pass by and not really feel too worried about. I mean, the military power of the United States at this point is 17, so technically we have a larger military force at this moment in time than the United States. I have some weird rebels. The First Army. It's weird. random first army. Okay, get down there. He has an attack of 2, so that's pretty good. So get down to New York proper, and we can increase the opinion of Colombia. Okay, America has won the war against the Empire of Mexico, but they are still weakened. Weakened, not weekend. Actually, no, they're still stronger than me. We're ranked 19. I was looking at that. So we have 28 military power. They have 31. I mean, this is a winnable situation, but it could get ugly real quick. Mexico just looks like such a mess. I mean, the United States didn't even take Arizona or California before they took Tijuana. I don't know. I don't like saying things that I can't say. But it happens. Okay, did we just lose a naval battle somewhere? Okay, they're almost home, but they're weakened from the trip. And it seems that we're actually losing that battle there, ordering a full retreat. Gotta hope the First Fleet gets there with reinforcements. I mean, they probably wouldn't be interested in being in an alliance right now because we are a great power and they don't need any other great powers in their sphere of alliances, if you will. Maybe if we drag this on long enough, we can get the CSA to help. Okay, try to get back in this. Yep. Hit them very hard that time. Military plans. Sure. More organization. That would be the benefit of us all. So now, some of you go up there, some of you go to Syracuse, and we'll have a great time, I'm sure. Send a New England expedition to wherever. I mean, I think we're winning. Yeah, we're kind of actually doing this. Somewhat evenly matched. We just won a major victory. And after we get New York, I just a short trip down to DC. Go to Buffalo and these guys will get Rochester when they're ready. Of course, this also means that maybe, we would have a harder time at defending the CSA, because if we have a peace treaty with the United States after this, then I'm not sure we're going to be able to intervene when the United States decides to try and restore order. So that might get ugly. Anyway, I'm invading the United States, and again, I keep pointing this out, purely economic let's play. Not living up. I mean, I want New York. I want the people who live there. Some of them, I am not one of them, believe that New York should be considered part of New England. And that's not right. There's New England and there's New York. Come on, people. Know where you be. And I don't know, what do we want here? Research points, more industry. It's just, I could do more railroad. We'll do clean coal and then railroad. Yeah, they'll move up there. Meanwhile, these guys continue downwards as much as they can. Now to Atlantic City. Again, we need like 50 war score to actually demand this thing. No, 65 war score. Excuse me. But I think we got it. We won the first few key battles. We're losing a bunch of money, but at the end of the day, I think that's a worthy sacrifice. Unfortunate that these soldiers have to die as well, but it happens for our conquest. Put a little more there. Of course, more into Mexico and more into the CSA. Of course, having an alliance of Mexico, the CSA, and, you know, Colombia, I guess, that would be really cool. Yep, go down on to Washington. No, I guess we have to keep on fighting these small little regiments that pop up. These guys will continue on their path, unafraid. And more to the Empire of Mexico. Some empire they got. They will eventually be an ally. They didn't want to be an ally originally. Now look at them. I'm not saying we would have been able to really save them at all, but the United States would have had some pause. And their defeat is our victory. Alright, move on to Baltimore. Keep on trying to get this little bit. Just follow them down into Williamsport. CSA. Add to sphere. Boom. So that's cool. And what's this then? Jacobin rebels. What for? Oh man. Might actually have to get these guys up here. I have to check Java just to make sure no one's messing down there. Okay, a huge portion of the United States has decided to, instead of defending the homeland, attack our colonies. I think that is a very poor strategic move, but whatever. And for this, go more artillery attack. We have artillery in our employ. Shame we have to be distracted by these rebellions. But that's what happens. So yeah, I think these guys can now go down to Washington, D.C., and these guys can handle these rebels on their own. Boom, boom, boom. And then, I don't know, go to Philadelphia, I suppose. Yeah, I was really terrified originally about going into this, but seeing the efforts of the United States are misplaced, maybe this was the right move all along. Now there's one of these dumb regiments as we take their capital. The United States wants peace. Okay, that's fine with me. Look at that! Well, I'll be. Can almost instantly just quickly increase this. I don't know. Again, I'm not really clear on what would be best for military composition. Let's get these guys back home, I suppose, and then now we have enough national focuses to get all of our provinces. So I guess just encourage craftsmen in general? That seems okay to me. Can expand that naval base. Can open up these factories. Not really sure we need 2 lumber yards. Yeah. Go ahead and delete that one. Then we can open up something else. Again, switch to the United Socialists. No, we'll just do Nationalists for now. Production. New York. That's population, not production. I can't read. And a machine parts factory. Yep. Sure. Why not? Yeah, open all, subsidize all. Now I gotta figure out what's going on with our military and our budget. Demobilize, of course. Now we are left with yeah, we'll let them merge, and then I'll have a better look at this. Let's see. Create a new unit. I want all the Javans together, which would be all the regular infantry. And let's see, a lot of this artillery too. I guess a lot of my men were really messed up in that fighting. I'm gonna get rid of the people we don't need, and that gives us 6 and 4. Alright then, I can live with this. Wow. We get a whole bunch of New Yorkers to the cause. 1 more guard. And increase our dominion over Mexico. Add to sphere. Good. Will these guys form an alliance with us? They will. Will Mexico? I mean, we just had a deal with them. We already have an alliance with the CSA. Of course, Britain will not form an alliance with us. I would like another great power to align with us. They're allied with France. Need to actually see who the great powers are again first. Ottomans, Russians, Austrians, French, North Germans. Yeah, I don't know. North Germans don't really need an ally because they're France and Spain are allied. No, France and Austria are allied with each other. Spain, they're not a great power though. So who am I missing? The Russian Empire. Although I doubt. Yeah, they definitely don't want an alliance with me. All right, I feel that. If we could get Brazil, that would be a nice addition. We'd have to take them away from France, because they're in the French sphere of influence. Also, Costa Rica may not be bad. Actually, if we could steal the USCA, but we can't right now, because we just had a war with them. So we'll try and get Costa Rica, because if Colombia helps, they need to be able to attack the USCA, which we would need, you know, Costa Rica on our side at the very least. So, yeah. New England is the unexpected conqueror of New York, evidently. It's almost more or less doubled our territory. And the CSA exists, they are our ally. Mexico exists. We have a pretty sophisticated system of alliances against the United States. I'm pretty happy. So, I hope you're happy too. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.